both of these teams really let themselves be known back in last season. However, only one of them has really stepped up as we've gone throughout this season, and that has been Spacestation Gaming. EUnited, on the other hand, have taken a step back. Achieves, what has really been the cause of that to you? Why are they suddenly starting to fall so far behind where they were?
Oh man, EUnited. You ask one of the world's greatest.
I can't see you right now, but I can hear the pen twirling.
Yes, the pen is twirling because it's just you ask a great question. Where did it all go wrong? And there's no like clear answer. I mean, Hoxer's playing all right. Ajax, he's shooting a little under the weather. If I had to guess, that's probably where I'd start. I mean, Ajax is the best shooter on their team at 20%. The other two are 17 and 17%. So if I had to pick one thing, it's just the shooting accuracy's off the money. Other than that, EUnited looks like they could win games. They just don't, and I don't know why.
Well, Gibbs was mostly chalking up to a lack of good shooting. Not necessarily the opportunities they were getting, but more just how they were taking them. And, you know, he's laid it out very simply for them. You have to beat the current #1 team in North America by 3-1 or better. Realistically, they have to win this 3-0, Chiefs. This first game is going to be monumental to them because they've got to get that momentum going. And it almost feels like they've got to win decisively.
Oh, yeah, and I think a lot of that will definitely fall on Ajax. I think Gibbs was right about that. Him being the guy in the goal, playing sort of that Sipical role that Sipical played last season on Space Station. So looking for him to be successful in that arena, and he starts off with a great save.
So, the United have got to do something that they haven't managed to do all season, and that is show us what they are capable of, what made them such a dominant force back in Season 8. I'm going to start off by putting a lot of pressure on Hoxer and Roldiz. That was, well, I'm going to be nice and call it unconventional. If I wasn't, we would call it something else. It's not how you want to try putting your pressure onto your opponents. Cool. Looking for the follow. Good block. Considering the pass was straight down the middle this time around. Both teams just trying to settle in to this first game. Hoxer, first pop, ends up going a little bit too late. Roldiz is also quite far forward. He's got to try and set up for himself. Typically, you want to try and bring Ajax into that one, but presumably because Hoxer is already downfield, you don't want to try and commit a third player off the ground. So far, though, a little bit slower. Nice little freeway passing play. And you simply cannot give that sort of space to Space Station.
Oh, yeah, they've been so patient. Arsenal, that's a great cross. Hoxer knows he's got no chance to go out and challenge, takes his chances on the goal line, and you're right, you can't give him space because they're going to pull off the 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man. Oh, that was gross.
So consistent with their passing play all season long. Here is Hoxer. Player to watch according to Gibbs. Gonna have to do exactly what Atomic did in our previous game and just really step up to the play. XB doesn't get contact, and Typical called into action a little bit late, but again, EUnited have got a lot of players in defense sort of held very far forward. It's been that they've had to try and rotate back each and every time. Unfortunately, nobody can rotate when you've got no players left on the field.
Arsenal, well done here. Just going for the challenge, takes the boost, says, cool, let's sweep the goal line. And the guy in the net had no chance to dodge because he couldn't see Arsenal coming through the goal line because of the smoke. It's brutal.
I'm going to assume that you're liking what you're seeing right now at Chiefs.
They're pretty good. Space Station's out here. They came to play today.
It's an opportunity for them to try and lock up a top 2 spot. They've got 2 games to play today. They've got G2 later on. This is an RLCS level game. You cannot look past anybody. Ajax. Beautiful little trap. Puts it over to Roldiz. All over in the corner. Sipical hasn't really got any options to try and pass to. And, you know, this sort of goal line.
Man, what is going on?
Worried. EUnited are very passive in defense.
They get the demo. They give themselves space, and then they run into each other and allow Space Station to come right back at them. Arsenal, straight down, Typical, lower right-hand side. Nice save, Roldiz.
Space Station, realistically in the midfield, have got the complete run of it. They have been unchallenged so far. And for a team that needs to try and get themselves out of relegation, they've got to be more aggressive. They're the team that's 2 goals down, and yet they've barely seen anything of the ball.
But they still actually do have plenty of time. They are being a little rough on them, to be fair, but they still have 2 minutes to find 2 goals, more than enough time, and get it settled here. Hoxer with a nice delay touch in the midfield. Maybe they start to put something together. Spacestation have been very patient, willing to sit very far back because EUnited have been kind enough to donate them the ball on more than one occasion in Game 1.
Rolled in, tried to pass to Ajax. Unfortunately, Ajax is not on the field anymore. Nasty flick. That didn't go quite how Arsenal was hoping. Spacestation Gaming happy to just play at their own pace, and their pace just seems a gear above right now.
Typical with a hat trick as well. AXB just getting in their face. Tap to yourself, and just make sure you get it inside. Turned off ball cam, too. Real nice job from Typical to make sure you got that inside corner of the car all the way to the outside of the ball to really put that one around the post.
Boxer to give his team at least one. That's off the post. Huge opportunity gone to waste. 3-goal deficit at a minute and a half remaining. Could be worse as well. XP does win the challenge. One time for Hoxer to get to this as he tried to pass off the roll. There's an instant counter-attack now from Spacestation Gaming. Still pops it. Over to Arsenal. Flip reset could be on if he just had the boost. The problem is if you're the defender, you're not quite sure where he is on boost, and you have to give him the respect that he could still have it.
Speed from Space Station is so insane right now. I mean, it's like they flipped the switch, you know. Now it's no longer sit back and let him handle the ball. Now it's drive straight at him and try and just push the ball right through him.
Ajax narrowly avoids the own goal. Try and make it 4. Arsenal again finds the bump. Homing missile so far in this game. Ajax trying to find something for his team. Look to lay it off. Arsenal flip reset. Whoa! Nice little pop up. Space Station Gaming. This is a mechanical masterclass from them. They exhibit all of their strengths in game number 1. Almost managed to put in for number 4, but the EUnited. This is the test. The gauntlet is thrown down now here. They're going to have to win every single game after this, but this game is gone, and it's gone by quite a distance.
Yeah, and they had a chance there. Arsenal actually got caught out in the midfield jumping, and he backflipped, and rolled his head. Everybody just screamed, and unfortunately just missed the ball. And you were absolutely right about saying a mechanics masterclass from Space Station here in Game 1. This was impressive. You got the passes, you got the fake dribbles, you got the demos, you got everything.
The nice thing is it's just... Rocket League's a game all about making yourself hard to predict. And that's what these sort of mechanical teams can do to you, because you look at them and you just got to say, all right, is this pass or is this solo play? You've got to try and figure it out, and you can only cover one most of the time. There's goal 5 off the inside of the goal from AXB.
And you know, you were just saying it's all about making yourself hard to predict. How do you read it? And the Hawks are sitting there on the goal line thinking, I have no idea what Arsenal's about to do with this ball. He just drops it off to AXB all the way across as it's the only goal-scoring option. And they turn it in, and that is a fantastic Game 1 from Space Station Gaming. My goodness.
I mean, you're looking at this game, and it was just so one-sided overall. EUnited, I mean, typically this is where I'd come to you, Chiefs, and say, hey, what have EUnited got to change?
Oh, man.
No, I'm not going to do that one to you, because the list almost seems too long. Some of it has been self-inflicted, that has to be said. You cannot be this passive against a team as good and is in form as Space Station Gaming, so if we're going to be as vague as possible, I almost say, give yourself a chance, try and get yourself some boost, and start challenging the midfield, because it's almost like 80% of the field belongs to Space Station. The other 20% belongs to Space Station when they want it.
It was also pretty difficult because I feel like you really got both halves. I think the first half of this game, Space Station was just sitting far back in the midfield and seeing what EUnited gave them. And then as soon as they got the measure of them, they turned it up to 11 and just went right after them. And EUnited, it was just, you got both halves of the coin of always in your face and hang on a second, where are they? And I'm curious to see if Space Station stick with that again, or if they just come at them full bore here in Game 2. And I think you're right. You know, it all starts with, you got to have at least one guy up in their face and stop some of that.
Me and Sol actually had a chance to discuss this last game, because we were saying, okay, no one's really staying downfield. for all that long, and it's because there's just so much threat of counter-attack at all times. Because EUnited don't have any players waiting downfield for passes, there is no counter-attacking threat, as this is the start they needed, though. Off the kickoff, and they get themselves their first of the series.
Yeah, Hoxer just wins the race up the sidewall, and Ajax just makes the quick read. Says, I don't have time to think about it. Get up there and place it in the corner. And that's a great bit of shooting from Ajax, and that's exactly that role you needed him. Give him the ball in some tight situations. Watch him work his magic.
I'm getting deja vu. A very dominant first game from the favorites, and then a kickoff goal to start off game number 2. You're looking at this as an EUnited fan. You're hoping that the result will be the same as the Ghost Gaming result earlier on.
Albeit a little less heart-stopping.
But to be fair, they're actually going to need a better result than Ghost Gaming got, because they have to win out from here. They cannot afford any more game losses, otherwise they will be blocked into the promotion relegation tournament. So, backs against the wall now. XB trying to follow. He's got a couple of options available. Typical off the backboard. Hoxer, though, already waiting around, but take a look at the positioning from Spacestation, especially how far up every player is. There's almost no respect that the half-volley player can come out and just, completely take the ball to the other side of the field.
Far up, but they do have a very wide spacing. I mean, they've got the far sides and the middle cover. They are tight to the defense, no doubt, and they are definitely at risk of the big boom and clear. But they will not let you clear the ball left and right, that's for sure.
Jax over to Hoxer to the corner, but XB immediately passing to Typical, who doesn't want to chase this one down. Instead, just waits for the opportunity, and opportunity does come. Bounces straight into the hood of Arsenal.
Product of the spacing. Arsenal hanging out in the midfield, sees a challenge, bop, right out into the middle with the pinch, and that's just great reactions. Arsenal not getting too antsy, thinking about, oh, what if this ball goes up and around the corner? I have to get all the way to the other side. Just see what comes your way. It makes a great reaction.
Backboard. Lead was only able to be held on to for less than a minute and a half. EUnited now searching to try and find their second of the game and of the series. The corner. Oh, so this is the player to watch out for, but he didn't even manage to get the ball under control. It's a difficult position to play in Achieved, but given how little EUnited have seen of this part of the field, you're going to have to make those little times in possession really count for yourself.
But it's all the way right back to where they've been. You're absolutely right. If you're parked on your own half, which is actually they're second in the league in terms of shot differential allowed. The only team that allows more shots on their goal is the Sonics. Those could not be two more different teams. One in the race for top 2 and one fighting to avoid relegation.
Good challenge win. XB looking for Typical off the backboard. Will Arsenal want to go? Instead, just waits it out in field to AXB across the face of the net. 2 players required, and they get a lot of power on the clear. EUnited, that was their chance to try and pounce. They wanted to lock down the other side of the field, and it simply did not happen. Now it's a very panicked touch from Roldiz. Forces Ajax to try and help out. That's a good challenge win. Couldn't get the second touch. He ran out of boost. But this is it. Off the backboard, Roldiz gets a crucial goal.
And they pounce. AXB makes the mistake there. He's the third man back. And yes, Typical has time to get back, but that's always going to be a tough ball. If Roldiz is able to place that in the right spot, always going to be unsavable. AXB a little too aggressive out of the midfield right there. And well done from the EUnited adjustment.
EUnited are doing a much better job of transitioning so far this game as well. It feels like there's still improvements to be made, but at least the power is on the hit. And there's a lot of power on that hit. Difficult somehow keeps it out. This is the danger when you give them these sort of balls to try and play with whenever they're in defense. They can transition ever so quickly and rinse your entire defense.
Arsenal baits, Roldiz up. Arsenal pulls off, lets AXB cross it to Typical. Arsenal's down on the ground for the demo. That's a mind game with a fake and a pass, demo shot. That's got almost everything.
No, Atomic, almost a lock right now for MVP this week. But Arsenal has been outstanding in these 2 games. If at the very least, just for the physical play, he is not giving any space for anybody. I think he's even now having attacks with Typical. Nobody's safe from him.
I mean, Arsenal is just a the type of player. He's a playmaker, you know. He's like Scrub Killer. He's like Justin. He's that type of player where he just gets inside your mind, and you know he's capable of just about anything. It's just how he applies it. It's just so brilliant on this Space Station roster. Like right there, everyone goes, "Oh man, here comes the redirect boomer." It's like, nope, fake into the demo. And it's just people have to expect the player.
The annoying thing as well, especially when you play them, is that time almost stands still whenever they've got the ball in the air. They're so good at just setting the pace that they want for their players. Rolled is, might have a chance. Nobody's staying around to try and shoot. EUnited, though, have managed to take quite a few of these chances whenever they've managed to break into the other side of the field. Arsenal again with the demo, looking to try and get even more, but Hogster gives them a receipt.
You definitely need to not get bullied around, and Sipko just trying to hang onto the ball, and Arsenal's respawn. There's the fake. Ajax, he could not allow Arsenal to have the chance for the double tap. And that means AXB will have to pay this off his backboard because United have rallied here with 15 left.
But pass, Ajax forced to play that to his own player. As Voldis and the rest of EUnited, this is scary for them. Not looking overly comfortable, but an opportunity to make something of this. Bounces off. Ajax unchallenged.
Got it.
Tries to take it past, but Arsenal floats in the air to try to free-flip save. Midfield, XB still wants to try and play this. Most players will want onto the floor. And finally, EUnited forced to put the ball down.
Infinitely better game 2 from EUnited. Definitely getting their grips into this game, despite Arsenal being an absolute nuisance to handle on the pitch today.
This is must-win for EUnited. If they lose it, they are consigned to the promotion relegation tournament. Good pass over to Typical. He'll want to give it back!
Whoa!
And it's in!
What do you do? What do you do versus that? Look at this touch out of the corner from Typical. It's behind him. Oh, and he went and got it. And then AXB puts that off the post and in. You got no chance.
I'll tell you exactly what you do, Achieves. You watch in awe, and you just say, okay, we never stood a chance against a play that good. Space Station Gaming, quick as you like, take game 2, and have put themselves 2-0 up in this series. And for EUnited, that was a good showing from them, but it was too little too late, and they have now lost their opportunity to get that 3-1 victory that they so desperately needed.
Yeah, it's a tough game for United, especially because the 3 goals that Space Station scored in that game were all fantastic goals, especially that game winner. Typical, what a beautiful assist that was. And, you know, EUnited, they came out swinging here in game 2, which is exactly what you wanted, you know? You got to go out and say, we're not going to get pushed around like we did in game 1 again. And they did a much better job. They put up, 7 shots to Space Station 6, 11, 14. So definitely a big disparity, but you know, that's what we're expecting. Space Station's one of the best offenses in the league. EUnited allows a lot of shots. And the fact that it was a 1-goal game into overtime bodes well for EUnited. So despite, you know, the series not going how they wanted, already down to 0-2, a lot of the chances dashed, you still come out here and you play a pretty good game here in game 3, I think, and you just say, you know what, fine, but if this is the way it is, we're going to go out on the way we want.
I mean, it's sort of the worst possible scenario for them to come into this week and say, all right, you're taking on the team that is #1 right now in North America. They've made a good showing in game 2. Now the rest of this series is them just trying to show exactly what they are capable of. It's a little challenge win for AXB. And this has been a consistent theme throughout this series for me, Achieves, is that EUnited are keeping up pace outside of the past 2 plays, but every challenge has gone against them.
Oh, yeah. But there have been a couple of great chances where they've caught AXB being a little too aggressive out of that 3rd-man role, and that's when they've really been able to put the pressure on Space Station. I'm curious to see if AXB either brings it back a little bit or if he continues to try and be aggressive.
To be left. Cole comes to take over the ball. Straight out of those corners do tend to do to you. It's so difficult as an offensive player to win the ball decisively in the opponent's corner. Ball decides to try and take it back off the backboard. Ajax already up. Just no fear from Space Station. They still sent XB despite the fact that he's very rarely going to be able to get too much from it. Now keep an eye on the boost situation for EUnited. They've got to try and make sure they keep a hold of it. Otherwise, these plays from Space Station that very often will go as high as they can possibly get the ball, becoming harder and harder to try and reach. EUnited do finally escape.
Big clear from Sypical. Nice job from Ajax to make 2 great touches to keep them on the offense. So 1 great touch on defense returned in kind for both teams. And look at Arsenal, more physicality as Sypical just tries to punch one off the wall and in.
Arsenal controls. Require a little bit of help from Sypical, who couldn't get there in time. XP forced to get there. United having a little bit more luck, and Space Station not comfortable with this. Off the backboard, it's a simple set, the bread and butter of Rocket League. Almost works out. Now we make it a little bit more complicated. Ajax feints out 1, flicks past 2, and Arsenal forced the half volley clear. The Space Station forced to think about it.
Nice job from Ajax, though, to go with that fake there and see if we can get a second opportunity. You can beat defenders, go for it. Taking a shot with 2 people in the goal line with not a great idea for where to go with it. I like the ideas. You're absolutely right. A lot better look here in Game 3 from EUnited. Ajax going for that uncontested backboard, but Hoxer gives ground, and Ajax will take it on a dribble and force the challenge. Smart idea.
Hoxer up. It's a bit of time. Flip reset off the backboard, and Arsenal will be forced to turn for it. United have gained more and more control of the midfield as this series has gone along. It's going to be the game that they're going to try and fully take advantage of it. It's difficult. It's dangerous, however, whenever he's got control of the ball, and that was a good job from Roldis to make sure he didn't get too much more of it. Hoxer didn't have any passing options downfield. This has been one of my issues with EUnited all season, is that very rarely do they hold people downfield to try and help them escape these situations. It usually feels like they need a really solid team play.
Roldis was looking for that team play right there, except that pass was just a little bit too far in front of Hoxer, and now they have to deal with Space Station's counterattack, but actually they need boost too.
Roldis to the corner. He's got Arsenal bearing down. Still 0-0. Minute and a half left in this game. Next goal so big as Hoxer doesn't go for it. He expected Space Station to make contact. Just too much respect. Now Arsenal with his opportunity, and it's a fluffed touch. XP ends up passing it back to his own side of the field. Both teams sort of getting scrappy over the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was a hairy moment there for EUnited, no doubt, but they could have caught Space Station on transition. Ajax just couldn't get all the way around the ball. A wise touch from AXB, just floating that outside and see if Sypical can make anything happen.
Roldis to the corner. Sypical and Arsenal do wait for it. Hoxer up. He's been looking for a few of these, struggling to really make something of it this series. He's had time on the ball. That's a big bump as well. Space Station. Oh, that's almost a pass to Arsenal. You have to be very careful. Space Station don't leave offense as quickly as you expect them to. You catch out a lot of teams straight onto net. Arsenal trying to be cheeky, feint out the backboard play. Only 20 seconds left here. Team able to break the other down. Will Arsenal be the first to do it? Must they flick? And he gets it!
Arsenal, I think, was definitely going for the musty flick double tap, but unfortunately the defense going to take it away from him. Hoxer trying to come off that backboard, just gets in front of the ball, and 9 seconds left. Arsenal will turn in a go-ahead goal.
Here we go for EUnited. They've looked better and better as this series has gone along. Can they get themselves a game to go with it? Off the backboard, XP does make contact. Roldis was already ready and waiting. It is only as far as Arsenal. They've got to try and put something in here. Off the backboard again. Follow up from Roldis. It was dropped down, but nobody on his team was expecting it. And that is a series sweep for Space Station.